coming live to color. I don't know. I might do something else too, like some sketching or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm feeling that creative thing is bubbling in me, but I don't have the setup to do it. I feel like I'm wanting to paint to the point where I almost was feeling like just violently throw everything out of my painting corner, shove it aside, break out my tubes, and make set up a palette because I don't know, I'm just feeling it. And I was trying to figure out how can I do what I want to do, like on paper in the setting, and every way I think of it, it's like it doesn't feel quite right to me. There's some element that's always missing, whether it's the getting a glossy effect like you get from oil paint, trying to get that with other types of paint. Um, that's like I think the point at which everything just like just stops because it's like I can't get that though, and then it's like yeah, well. So anyway, so I think I'm gonna color. I have some pages to finish in Mythographic Aviary. Um, Mermaid is over. And I figure the things that I did work on in here, which in for Mermaid, we're not done, but like as I feel like picking them up, I will. Or I might wait till, Lord willing, next year and continue with them. I feel like this particular picture it needs so much that there was no way I was going to be able to finish it in May. Because I think I'm gonna have a pencil base on this, but I think I'm also gonna bedazzle it somehow. And I also have to wait for my skill level to come up to, or to get the vision for how that's gonna happen. But until I to do that, and I ain't got that right now. So it may take a year for me to get that. What? Where's the other brush? I had another brush. Where did it go? Hmm. Oh, it's right behind it. Okay. Let me get this stuff out of here. Um. So I want to take my time on it. Then yeah, I haven't done anything more on this one either. So wait until next year. I already know kind of what I want to do. Except I have to put a pencil base on here, and then I think I want to use sparkle pop pens on top of these little barnacles or whatever. But like, yeah, I wasn't ready to do that. Yeah, I'm still kind of I guess I'm only like halfway there with knowing what I want to do with it. Or three-quarters of the way there. I just don't know how to do it to get it to look the way I want it to. So I didn't finish that one. Um, and the first one I started in here, just way back here. And this one, because I have to do the background, and I kind of have an idea what I want to do for the background to have it look like water. Kind of like that this PDF mermaid picture, if I can find it, how it has this sense of water going up. Where is it? I don't know where I put it. It has stuff all over the place. Well, in a way, kind of like this, because you can see it in here with light in the water, and then just that sense of those ripples or whatever going upward. Something like this, which actually this would be a good model to use for to do this page. Is just figure out how to, use this as my sample or example or whatever. Um, I want to do something like that in the background, and um, and like with like little bubbles and things coming up. So like she's sinking down and set down in the water and kind of like levitating in the water or whatever you call it, and and then that all around her. But like, yeah, that's a lot of work. It's something I don't know how to do yet. So yeah, it's in the background. And there's a lot of these pictures I keep looking at, and it's like, I really like that. I really like that, but I won't color. I don't want to color anything else in this book because I already have 3 pages that are unfinished, and I want to finish those first. Because once I finish the 3 that are in here, then I'll have another skill, another idea of how to finish pages, and then I can build on that knowledge when I do the other ones, which is kind of, I guess, how I approach every coloring book that is like a really kind of, I don't know, it's how I approach any coloring book. Even the bold and easy ones, I approach them that way because the bold and easy ones in particular, the main thing that I like doing in those is using markers, like particularly like alcohol markers, which I'm not good with using, but using those bold and easy books, I think is a good way for me to practice that technique because you got a lot big spaces to work with, so I don't have to worry about you know making a mistake because I'm trying to fit something so small. It also gets me used to how the strokes of a alcohol marker, how you apply them, and how you make it work for you, and all that kind of stuff. So every single coloring book I have is something like for me to learn how to do something, how to use a coloring tool. So I keep looking at this, and I actually worked on this page a little bit the other day, very little. What I did was, because I'm trying to figure out again, like almost similar to the light in the water kind of phase. I'm trying to figure out how to really make this look like rain, on a gray kind of day. And so I actually went in with a darker gray pencil and kind of just kept doing marks, soft kind of almost rub, but I don't know, weird kind of marks. It's like how you use a pencil tip. I don't even know how to describe it. I kept trying to match it, like, make it like it's going down, but it's, kind of like an outline or whatever to the drops or something. And I kept doing that. I did that in one part and I really liked it, so I just kept doing it all over. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's what happened with that. I don't know why I opened to that. I'm still showing my mermaid pages, but so I'm gonna put my mermaid books away this week because we're done with those until next year. Um, Although I may do a background on one of these. So I did finish this page this year. So this is my mermaid 2026 page. And you know what? Maybe I'm gonna write that on here if I can find my pen. Mermaid 2026. I really like this. I like this a lot. And I do remember having a stage, at least one, where I was like, I don't know what the heck to do with this. And it was after I think I had colored in one of these things, and I was like, where do I go from there? so, so it's kind of nice to know that in a page that I like, that I had several moments where I was like, I don't know what the heck to do with this. So I like the page. And then this one, which I'm kind of thinking about. I may put a background on this before I put this book away. And I did this with the Posca marker because there was something about, I don't know, all of the red and yellow, or red, orange, yellow, that was really bothering me. That and probably the lines. And like I just couldn't make things look the way I wanted to. So that's when I broke out with the Posca, the white Posca pen. And then I didn't like how that looked. But then as I opened the page now, And like as I was opening it yesterday. Every time I open it now, after not looking at it for a long time, I actually like that white outline. So, yeah, I kind of do want to add a background and then do more work on the little hearts. Um, but I don't know. It's possible I may do that before I put this book away. These need a little more work too, but um, I might have to use like my. It's kind of small for me to try to use an acrylic marker for me. Um, I could probably use one of the like the colored pen versions of these pentonic pens that I have. They might go over the pencil. Yeah, it's so interesting how now I really like that white. I don't feel like I need to add any more white to it. I feel like it's fine where I did it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it needs more. I don't know. Um, what else did I do? I started the boy, the merman, him, and I kept looking at him yesterday, and it's like I'm not ready to add to him yet, and I don't know what I want to do with the background. These are all crowns. They're supposed to be gold. Should I use um, like a metallic pen or a metallic marker on these, or should I model them with pencil? And like that's a lot of crowns to do with pencil, so I can't see myself doing that. They're all in the background. Maybe do it with his main one, but not all of these. And then like am we gonna use a gel stick for behind this or what? I don't know. Too many decisions to make on little dudes, so I left him. Um, is there another one in here? That might be. That's got. Oh, this hot mess, which actually I guess started it like probably when I first got the book or something. And she needs so much work. I can't even begin. But I was coloring this a little bit the other day, and I was actually adding brown to the octopus. I got my shoot. I got my other webcam plugged into my other computer for the because this is the best one to use for the gaming for the mic, and I kind of wish I had it plugged into this computer. But anyway, this needs so much work that yeah, there was I don't know when I'm gonna finish this one, and I kind of don't like it. I have to push it to the point where I like it. There's some things that I like about it, like what I did in here, adding the Posca pen in here, and yeah, and adding some of the brown the other day. That's what I did to this point. But there's like so many spots in here that have to be worked on, in addition to the parts that aren't even colored yet. Don't even, not even thinking about the background at this point, just these things. That it's like, oh, brother, that's a lot of work. Because I did a lot of things to try and make me like this. I did a lot of things to try and get it to this point, and I'm going to have to do all that much more work for the rest of it. And it's really hard for me to delineate between the octopus and her and the mermaid. And so that takes thought too. Because I think her body, the lower part of her body goes here, goes down, and it must go into the water. And actually, this is part of her too, down here, which I just noticed that. So it starts here, goes down here to here, and then part of it's underwater, and then it comes up here. There's a lot going on, and I have to somehow build up the same color down here, and I don't know how I'm going to do that because I don't even know how many colors are in this. There's a lot because I kept trying to, I don't know, do something. I don't know what I was trying to do, but so I think the other day I colored this in green because I kept looking at this and it's like, well, I've already committed to this being like, some kind of sea green or whatever. So can't really change it because of everything that was already on it. So it's like, oh well, let's push it to a green maybe that I can work with. And then I did the inside, and like I don't really like it, but I didn't want to do more orange or yellow. So something I just thought of is, what if I pushed her hair, like make it black and have the blue be underneath it, the blue and purple be underneath it, that maybe that would make me like the picture more. It just seems like such a clash of, I don't know. It's annoying. It's annoying to look at. It's annoying to talk about. Let me close it. I think that's as far as I went. I don't know why I picked this page when I did. I have no idea. So I did two for sure for Mermaid, and I probably should mark this one too. Mermaid 2026. Oh, this page. Ooh, it makes me want to throw up. But I'm gonna keep working on it. I'm not gonna give up on it. But when am I gonna work on it? I don't know, because I think it's ridiculous. I love this one. She needs a background still. This one needs to be finished too. I thought about actually doing more with the background with this. And like I did this because I was covering up a different gel crayon or something that I put down that it was off. It was way off. But I think I may try and just color right over that with whatever else I put on here. I don't know. We'll figure something out. And those are older ones. First one I colored in here, and I thought about working on this one the other day, and I thought, no, I kind of want to finish it the way I started it, which is with watercolors, and I really like how the watercolors look on the sea lions or whatever. So I don't want to, I don't know, I don't want to lose that. And I figure, like, just, I really want the whole page to just be watercolor, no matter how unskilled I am with it. Um, just so I can see how I did with watercolors. You know what I mean? Um, so I didn't do anything with this one. What is this part? What is that? I don't know what that's supposed to be. Anyway. Oh, let's see. Oh, I totally forgot about this. I need to finish her. I don't know. Almost looks like they used watercolor on her. I don't know. Or combination. Is there sparkle? Yeah, there's a little bit of sparkle on her crown. He needs some sparkle too. I think I must have used my the CSY watercolor palette. Yeah, so I have things for next time. Next year with watercolor. And I've also been coloring in Luna a lot. Trying to finish up this page. Worked on this a little bit yesterday. Oops, don't take this out. Still need to spray my pages. Trying to find where I put it. I didn't look that hard though. I just kind of wasn't in the mood for that. Almost did a background for this page yesterday, but I didn't. I was trying to use, oh, and that's because like I did put in the background for this page, for better or worse. I think I'm actually going to add some green in here, kind of like leaves or something. I don't know, but for better or worse, this is the background, and I can't get a good picture of it because of the. Sorry, I keep sucking my teeth. I guess I'm in that kind of mood lately. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but kind of did this to frame it, you know. Um, and what happened was I used my these guys that I was saying that I really need to start using them. Um, these quick sticks. Um, solid tempera paint. Isn't tempera supposed to be water soluble? No, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of maybe applying water. But then I don't know this paper can take that much water. I may need to experiment with these with some water. But yeah, I kept thinking I need to use these, so I was wondering, well, how would they work for a background? And it kind of was a little bit disastrous on this. It wasn't going down like I wanted it to. This is one color, the blue, and then this one, the orange. And rubbing it in, like I rubbed it in more on this side, it just wasn't giving me what I wanted. And so when I initially put some down on this side, I kind of left it just how I put it on here. I thought, well, that looks kind of interesting. And so, I kind of kept doing it all the way around to see what would happen. Um, and I thought, well, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like it has a frame. And so then I used just a King Art gel stick and did the rest of the background. For better or worse, it's a background. Um, but yeah, I think I want to put something in the white spots in here. I don't know if what I'm going to use to do that. I could even use something metallic, but I don't want it to take away from what's in the center. Or use something green, like use a green pencil and kind of do. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I want to do something. So anyway, so that's that. And then I started another page in here. And I started looking through the rest of the book, and it's like, ooh, I like that page. Ooh, I like that page. Um, who knows? Maybe that's what I'll do today. I like this one because it has the big tomatoes, and the little things on the little elves or whatever at the bottom are cute. Um, yeah, I really like this one with the seahorse on this side, and then this over here is a really cute page. I think I did. I don't know why, but I don't know. I forgot they were there, or I just never flipped to them or something. I don't even know. Ugh, watch, leave me alone. It's noon. There was another one that was in back. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if you hear my little. I have my space heater on in here because it's cold. This weather is just so strange, so strange. Look at that page too. What? Oh, that's big. So, where is the page I was? Oh, here it is. This one. This one I'm not working on until I get my color premieres out again, which I think they're kind of out, but I have too many pencils loose out right now for me to go back to that. But I want to do this one solely with the color premieres and nothing else. Hi, Craft Time with Yaya. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well. Um, yes, I'm saving this one for that. I want it to be all color premieres. Um, and I started working on this one yesterday just because I wanted to do something. I don't know, just wanted to do something. Period. Um, so it's kind of weird for me because this is more of a yellow green and this was like a bluish kind of green. I don't know, but I'm gonna work with it because usually I don't know. I'm just gonna work with it. So I think I don't know. Maybe I'll finish this instead of working on the aviary page. Oh, excuse me, because I just spent what 26 minutes yapping. So I went to the dentist this morning, um, and I went for a filling of a cavity that like I've had for a year, but it's like really tiny. It's actually also the result of my teeth crowding because I wound up and I just realized this like not that long ago that before I went through this whole thing 3 years ago, walking around with a infected tooth for months, um, that wound up in that tooth getting pulled. Um, I had gone to the dentist and they said I had a little um, piece of my, between my two front teeth. On one of them, there was a little chip on it, like way up, like, up like in the upper middle part of the tooth. I'm like, well, how does that happen? It's like, I don't bite things open or anything like that with my teeth. I don't do that. Well, now, after all this has happened, everything I've been through, now I know that's probably another result of my teeth crowding. And what they had done back then when they saw that little chip was even though it wasn't a cavity, they filled it because they thought, well, just to prevent it from turning into anything, we're just going to fill it and don't worry about it. You're not paying anything for it. Um, well, now it's a cavity, and it I noticed it last year. Was it last year? And but it was very small, and I had my braces in, so they couldn't do anything. And so they said, well, because you're so good at taking care of, keeping your teeth clean, you can get away with having this for a while. So when you get your braces off, then we'll fill it. Well, what I didn't realize was in getting the permanent retainer that the orthodontist put in, it also covers up the tooth where they can't fill it. They can't fill that one that I've been waiting for a year to fill. And I had made the appointment already, like to, okay, let's fill that cavity. I made that like a couple months ago, 2 3 months ago was as soon as, yeah, I made it because I knew I was going to have my braces off or something like that. Something like that happened. Um, or maybe no, it was like in April. Once I knew I had my braces off, this is okay. I need that cavity filled. I need a teeth cleaning. Let's schedule them. They couldn't schedule the teeth cleaning until August, but they scheduled the tooth filling for today, um, back in April. And so I've been waiting for this appointment. And then I get there this morning and they can't fill it because of the permanent retainer. So now I have to call, we made an appointment for July to fill that cavity. And I have to call my orthodontist, let them know this is the date that I'm gonna get this tooth filled So I need to get the permanent retainer taken off so they can fill the tooth on that day. And then I'm going to have to go back for them to put the permanent retainer on. Thankful, but it's crazy. So I'm not calling them today because it's Monday, and Monday's probably when they get all those calls where it's like, oh, I broke a bracket, oh this, oh that, oh the other. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow or Wednesday to call and arrange that, and hopefully that day works for them. My dentist said, like, if that time doesn't work, then just let us know what day or whatever they say is good, and we'll change your appointment to that. Oh, it's just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then fortunately I have the girl who like worked with a woman, I should say woman, young woman, who was the first tech that I was always with all the time when I went to the orthodontist. She actually works at my dentist now, and she's been there for about a year. And she said, because she knows the orthodontist and has worked there for a while, and she just left there because she wanted to be closer to home. And she says, well, she goes, then so like you call them, like arrange, and they'll take off the permanent retainer, and then we'll do the filling. And then after you do the filling, she goes, make sure when you go back to the orthodontist, bring your retainers that you wear every night, because it's probably the filling is going to change how the retainer fits, and so they're going to have to adjust that too, as well as the fact that they're probably not going to get the permanent retainer back in the exact same position as they have it now. Something about it's going to change. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that's probably going to be another appointment on top of that, because they're going to have to do the imaging, and then adjust that retainer or make another top set or something. I don't know. Whole rigmarole. But while I was there at the dentist this morning, even though they couldn't fill that cavity, I had noticed last week that there was something on my eye tooth. I saw a brown spot on my eye tooth, something that I wasn't able to see when I had my braces on. And there was a brown spot. I'm like, what the heck is that? Because I'm really not used to having cavities. And it also looks like there's something, I don't know what it is. It looks like a calcium deposit or something. Anyway, so they looked at it and he says, yeah, you're right, that is a cavity. And so they filled that one. So it was a blessing actually, because then even though they couldn't fill the cavity I was there for them to fill, that one cavity I was there for them to fill is still small. And this one that is on my lower tooth, it looked kind of big. That's why I was like, what the heck is that? This is like a brown spot. So they filled that instead. So that was good. I don't know. Not good to have another cavity, but good that they saw that I saw it last week and can point it out to them, and they could just fill that one instead. So the appointment was not for naught. So with all that blah blah blah, what was that? An extra, like, I don't know, an extra 7 minutes of blah blah blah. Let's color. Let's color. I need to get some pencils put away. I know I keep saying that, but it's because I do. I was focusing more on cleaning the house the past few days since Friday, organizing and cleaning, rather than doing anything in this room. I figure while I'm not working, it's like anytime I can be out of this room is good. Just get out of this room and just in that mode. Get out of it. Now, why did these look like... Oh, they're not the same. Where's my white pencil? I want my short white pencil. I keep pulling out the green light, which, I mean, is okay, but it's still not quite white. So sometimes that little green tint doesn't work for me. could use this, but it's not quite the same. Maybe it'll work for this. So, and when I went to the dentist, the one tech that I actually know from the orthodontist who works at the dentist now, she was saying there was frost on the ground this morning. I was like, oh my gosh. It really is chilly. I had to wear a jacket today. And I had to fill my car up with gas. It cost me $56.55 for 13 gallons of gas. I'm like, you know what? That's crazy. My little car. I think I want my dark green now. I want dark green. Is this dark green? Yeah. Even sharper. I need to toss this in the garbage. Too many shavings. Too many. So let's see my plan for today. Oh, and I thought I had a book that I had to return to the library that actually like they had sent off to another library for me to get it. So it was kind of like a loan from a loan. And for some reason I kept thinking it was due June 1st. And I was kind of like oh man, because it's right near the dentist where I have to return it. And so my plan was I was going to return the book, while I was over on that side of town. And I thought, well, I don't have it now, so, I can't. So either I'll have to go back into town or I'll go online and I'll extend the loan. And I look and going to extend the loan, and the book, it's not due. Ouch. Shoot, I dropped a book on my foot. Wow. It's actually not due till the 13th. And I was like, thank you, Lord. I was just all like gonna, be in a tizzy over having have it longer. I should have emptied this too. Shoot. So I have until the 13th, so I don't have to worry about rushing to return it. Which is good. I actually wound up buying the book. So after I borrowed it and I looked at it, it's like, oh, and I'm thinking, well, this is not one I want to hit. This is one I need to have. I need to own because of the information and how I can use it repeatedly. So I wound up buying the book, even though the book costs like $100. It's actually that valuable. So I bit the bullet and I says, no, this is like, this is priceless information and I need this one. So I think it was like $124. I was like, yeah, but it's worth it though. So I bought it. So now I have it and I own it. So not really. But it wasn't until I borrowed it because I read the description of the book and I was like, I saw some citations that included it and I thought, So I borrowed the book to see, well, what's in this? What all is in this? And is there more? And when I borrowed it and started looking at it, it's like, oh yeah, this is good stuff. Must have. I was like, but Lord, do I need to do this? Do I need to buy it? Or should I just keep borrowing it every time I need it? Or just take down a whole lot of notes from it and Yeah, I wound up getting it, buying it. It's one of the things. Well, actually, it's on my list for things to read this summer if I get to it. Um, but it's kind of going to be ongoing reading. Kind of intersects with some of the other things that I'm reading, but um, I did start reading it, but it has something else that kind of has displaced it from my priority list, which is another reason why I decided to buy it. It's like, well, I can't right now go as deep and go page to page with it like I'd like to. So, but I'm still like kind of trying to chill on the books. I said no to some, so I'm not buying in automatic mode. I'm only I absolutely have to and can't do it any other way. Something I did do is I bought more books by Bell Hooks because I love that woman. I wish I had gotten to see her live, hear her speak live. Ooh, I'm choke. Bubbles, good morning. Oh, get ready to choke. Ugh, I think this heat from the space heater is kicking things up. Hope you're doing well, Bubbles. You and Yuki. So yeah, so I did that, but try not to buy any more books. I need to read more, which is part of one of my things for this summer to do. Been getting rid of a lot of old papers, and it's kind of amazing some of the things that I'm finding while I'm getting rid of old papers. I was like, what? Organizing cupboards and things. Lots of stuff. Kind of trying to spend as much time away from my desk as possible while I can. It's kind of interesting how that becomes a habit. Being at my desk becomes a habit when I'm working that I don't realize. It's like, you don't have to be at your desk now. Go away. Go do something else. And I can't quite garden. This definitely feels like a more of a preparatory year for gardening. Like I feel like this is the year like I'm getting back into it now. And so there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the garden to like just recover it from my not gardening for 7 to 10 years. And also at the same time I'm training my husband as a gardener because it still blows my mind. Like you grew up in the country and you don't know anything about digging in the dirt. What the heck? But So that combination and the fact that nature has been recovering itself in my yard while I haven't been gardening and while we haven't had between our two houses, no cats, no dogs. This is like a first for like, like 20 years or something like that. So, over 20 years. And so I see things happening. It's like, oh, so I don't want to disturb nature while it's in full effect and enjoying itself in my yard. And so that's another reason why I want to do very minimal in the yard this year. So I just want to focus on getting it ready for next year. Because kind of what put the nail on the head was I have Chip and Dale in my yard. you know, I have like two chipmunks running around together in my yard. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm calling them Chip and Dale now. And I saw them scattering like from underneath the we have a composter that's hoisted up on like a rack and so that you can turn it. And they were running from underneath there to like all the way over to a garden bed that actually has a whole lot of this plant called goat's beard. It's a flowering plant. And I was like, oh, I'm like, okay, so you guys have your places here. Like, I mean, they're right in the flower garden bed. I see them. Even in the front. I saw one chipmunk go into the flower bed in the front, and so they got their little places in there. So like, I don't really want to disturb any of that. I kind of want to wait until it starts dying down, then I can start ripping that away because I don't know, they might be making babies or whatever else right now, and so I don't want to disturb any nests or anything. And the same thing with birds. Like, we have more birds than I've ever seen. We have a lot of robins. I actually saw grackles who were actually on the ground, in the lawn in our backyard, and it was so funny. There's like some baby ones that they look younger, and then some older ones, and they were just following like in a line, just going down the line from the strip of like how my husband mows the lawn, because he like mows it like it's a, what do you call it, like it's hey Ivy Pearl, like it's a hey Amy, I didn't see you, like a what do you call it, um golf course. And so the birds, okay, you see, and I can tell like it must be like the parents and the kids, because the parents will go up a little bit. One's on one side, and one's on this side. The kids are kind of in the middle, and they're kind of like, you can tell they're kind of like reining them in, trying to like, protect them and show them at the same time what to do. And they're pecking the ground, and they're actually pecking in the part like the dead grass that's left up from how my husband mows the lawn. Because if you see a golf course and how it's mowed, it's like they do it so like there's, I don't know, the dead grass part or whatever is like it makes a strip, and it looks like all like strips across the whole lawn. So they're just following and they're pecking in that part. And like the little ones are watching the bigger ones and like, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. And then the bigger ones kind of wait and let them do that for a while, and then they move up a little bit up that line. And it was so funny because it's like they're following the line, and I know they're following the line because of whatever's left must be make it good for them to find birds or find worms or bugs. But it was hilarious to watch. I was just fascinated. I just was there watching them for the longest time. But yeah, there's a lot of wildlife going on in the yard, and so I don't want to be disrupting them, and I also don't want to plant stuff that they're going to be eating because I don't like wasting my time. So, and I told my husband, I says we need to have the battlements up if I'm going to garden, because I'm not going to waste my time. Because my whole thing, and I like, not to equate kids with animals, but I'm this way with kids too. I don't like saying no. I can't stand saying no. I don't like to continually be telling a child no, 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 no. I like the child to be able to roam free safely in the space that's here. And so I'll have it set up so that's what they can do. Anything they touch, if I left it out and they get a hold of it, oh well, sucks to be me. I shouldn't have left it out. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. But I don't want them touching things I don't want them to touch. So I try to make sure they're not around, but that everything that's around them is inviting and safe for them. and it's not going to piss me off if they touch it. And that's the same way I am about my garden. I don't want to have to do anything to um like get rid of a critter or something like that. I don't like doing that. I like to make it so they can't even get in, or that it's not even inviting to them. By companion gardening, by having structures up that keep them out, things like that. And if that's not up, I ain't doing it. Now, naturally, before, the cats and dogs kept them away, but we don't have them now. So we need more of that kind of stuff. And I don't have the time to be thinking of the stuff to do and how to put it up and telling somebody how to put it up. So if that's what's going to have to happen, then I'm going to need a whole nother year to get my whole thing together about it. So I'm not gardening hard this year. I'm just going to weed. I'm going to take care of my herbs. That's mostly what I'm going to tend to this year, is the herb garden and any kind of preparation of soil or anything like that I might need to do for next year. So I don't know. That's the plan. So you asked what books? Actually, I have some of them here. I actually have. Oh, because I think she has one. Like, does it say she have 22 books? I'm getting to the point where I think I want them all, but Feminism is for Everybody is like my favorite. That's the thing that like made me like want to read everything by her. But this is one that I have, one recent one that I got. The Will to Change. Because in Feminism is for Everybody, she has a chapter on feminist masculinity that always makes sense to young men when they read it. They're like, oh, because they're always thinking that feminism is about, men are evil. But no, she goes after women as much as she goes after men. She's very much, she's I don't know. I've never seen anybody deliver information the way she does. It's just so, um, it's fair without holding any punches. It's understanding of people and individuals, but she tells you the truth. I love this one. I wish I had gotten to see her speak before she passed. She passed recently, I think 2023 or something like that. I didn't realize, but I guess she had liver disease. But love that woman. I would have loved to take a class from her. But there's YouTube. Also reading, is that book here? It's not here. I don't know what the name of it is. I can't remember the name of it. I have to look. I can look it up on. It's a book. It's a novel. It's written in second person narrative, and this one is like it's fiction. It's like basically for fun. Um, I can find it if I go to my Amazon. Orders. They changed how their orders look. Where are you? It's not that far away. Can't be that far. Okay, there it is. It's called It's on a Winter's Night a Traveler. And it's by Italo Calvino. And it's a translation. Just the first page had me cracking up. But he writes it in second person narrative, which is a very rare narrative to write in. 'Cause it's kind of weird because it's kind of like the moment is now, this minute, and then you're also a part of it. What the writer is saying, the narrator is saying is happening now. So kind of, it's really different. So I was, oh, well, I messed that up. I guess we're making that wider. I was watching, I was trying to watch TV the other day, and I wound up watching some movie that was. My husband was watching it with me, and it was so weird. It was about um, was it Netflix or was it Prime? Was it on Prime? You see, I can give you the real name if it's on Prime. I can't remember if it's on. Yeah, I think it was on Prime because it was through. Oh, stop it! Prime Video. Let me see my watch. How do we see my watch thing? Why is my computer acting so stupid right now? I don't know if I can find it. The way everybody has everything is just so weird. I want to see what I watched. Jeez. Well, it was like an independent film. I don't know. They make it so hard for you to find stuff on here. Why do they have a? Oh, Prime Video has like a. They got a side window on there or something. Is it on my watch list? I don't know. I don't think I intended to watch it. I just watched it. Can I get a recently watched thing? How do you find what you watched? I don't know how you find that. Anyway, it was something. It was something about a guy who. It was set in New York City. The movie was from like the. I don't know. I guess like the early '90s. I think it was, and the guy sells. He bootlegs music. So like he goes to live shows and records the show and then makes them into, cassette tapes that he sells on the street. And yeah, so that's what it was. And it was in black and white. Um is this a pencil I want to use? I don't think I want to use it right off. It was in black and white and it kept us watching though. It kept us watching, so there's something to be said for it. Um, and I probably would watch it again just because I don't know. There's something about it. First of all, I mean, like a story about New Yorkers who, doing what New Yorkers do. Not the rich folks, but just regular folks. Was it just kind of reminded me a lot of how New York City was like in the 80s. Which is why I hesitated when I said like it takes place in the early '90s because I'm not sure. I don't know. It kind of seemed a little bit earlier than that, but I think the movie came out in 1995. But I think it might have been, the script or whatever probably was written. I think it was written probably in the 80s because it had a very 1980s vibe to it with what was going on with the tapes and the bootleg whole thing with bootleg tapes and all of that. I mean, I never bought a tape like that, but I used to hear about people, who did that. And like, what was it like? There was a YouTube or a YouTube tape. Did I have somebody gave it to me or something like that? YouTube used to play, one of the places it used to play, they used to play a lot was Albany. And somehow I think I heard a tape of their performance in Albany that somebody had as a bootleg tape. Somebody I knew had it. But yeah, it was kind of funny because I'm thinking, oh yeah, that used to be a thing, the bootleg tapes. Yeah, can they even do that now? Because now they have I don't know, everybody has concerts in stadiums and stuff. So, and the sound is so imbalanced that I don't think you could do that. But I remember back in the day, they used to frisk people to make sure they weren't carrying, recording equipment. It's almost like I keep using this green pencil just because I have it, just because it's here. Do I need to cook today? I've been eating nachos, loaded nachos for the past couple of days, but I don't know if that's what I want. I still have some pizza dough to use up, but I'm not sure how I want to use it. And I'm almost thinking of making a dessert out of it instead of something savory. I don't know. I can't decide. But I mean, like, because it's really cool for this time of year, I really want to turn the oven on. I really want to bake some cookies. Is what I want to do. And really, what I would really like is some lemon pistachio biscotti. Do I have the energy to like? It doesn't really take much, but uh, I guess I'm so not used to baking now. It sounds like a chore to me. But once I get started, it's like boom, 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 done. The only thing with biscotti, you bake and then you bake again. That's all it is. And it's really easy because you make the dough. The labor is in making the first dough, and even that isn't a whole lot of labor because it's not very fancy. Um, Sounds like I'm talking myself into making it, but it's true though. It comes together really quick. I do have lemons, so I can get lemon peel. I can't tell where I think I missed something in here. I have lemon peel, lemons, lemon juice. I'm pretty sure I have some pistachios, shelled pistachios. And see, as I'm thinking, well, I want two kinds. I don't want just one kind. That's when it turns into more work. The more I think about it. Chocolate chip biscotti and then lemon pistachio. Now, to do that, that's going to be more because I'm going to have to make. They're two different kinds of flavors, and I can't be mixing the knives and stuff for that. Well, I suppose I could bake one day, one the other, but then I also don't want to have all that around. That's a lot of biscotti to have hanging around. But I want biscotti because it's crunchy and it's something that I couldn't eat when I had braces on because they would break my brackets. So, and that's my whole thing with braces. The hardest part was not having crunchy things. That was hard because I love crunchy things. So I am back to my walnuts, my roasted walnuts. We're in full effect with those now. And I was thinking, like, before biscotti, I was thinking, well, you should bake some oatmeal cookies. And I thought, no, they're not crunchy enough. And that's when I thought, biscotti, they're crunchy enough. I don't know if I can make biscotti with, I have to look at my recipe again. I think I have to use butter. That's the other thing. I'm trying to, like, I don't want too much, what do you call it? Another thing that I'm doing now that I don't have braces is, like, now I can eat the way I used to eat. And so I need to lose like 25 pounds because I gained 25 pounds with the braces. It's Luna. I'm coloring in Luna. Oh, flip that. So, yeah. Drop this weight. So I'm trying to get back in touch with, okay, how did I eat before? I'm reminding myself. I think that's a lot of reasons why I didn't enjoy eating. It's because, like, ugh. Excuse me. Ugh. But now it's time to get back to the old ways. I need to run a regular pencil through here. I have one downstairs that would be good for it too, but I tried to use the other day. I'm like, what the heck? How does this thing even write? Tempted to get up and go get it, which I think I am. Be right back. Oh. Here it is. Pulled a pencil out of the drawer to write something down the other day, and I was like, what the heck? What is this? The drawer downstairs. I don't know. I was really cranky. Was it Saturday? Because a Wi-Fi extender has been plugged in for at least 3 years and hasn't been working. It was one that my husband had to extend the signal to the garage, and I just find out that it hasn't been working all this time and he hasn't been using it, but it's been plugged into the wall for at least 3 years. I'm like, so why is this plugged in then? It's not doing anything. It's just like, and I was trying to connect the television that's in front of our exercise equipment to it, because, like, again, I need to lose 25 pounds, so I'm gonna be hopping on that stuff on the regular. And I thought, oh, I can watch YouTube videos or watch a movie or whatever while I'm on here. Well, I go and try to use it and it won't connect. And so I've been working actually since Friday to try to reconnect it, but it seems like in that time period also uh the internet service provider has changed how you can connect. I've tried several different things, resetting the extender and everything, and like is nothing was working. And then when I asked my husband, it's like, well, what do you connect to with in the garage? He goes, oh, I don't use that. It doesn't work. I'm like, but it's been plugged into the wall for like at least 3 years. Like, why is it plugged into the wall? It's like ways to drive me crazy. It's like, you're driving me nuts. It's like, I need somebody else. I need another pair of hands that's going to pay attention to stuff like this. I can't be the only one. It's like, I'm not spending my vacation on this. I need a vacation. So and I still haven't solved that problem. And I think what I'm thinking now is the problem is that I need to set the extender so that it only works on the 2.4 what was it, 2.4 hertz band, the 2.4 band, and not the the other one, the 5, is it 5G? Yeah, just the 2.4G. So that's the last thing I have to try, but I got to jump through so many hoops to do all of that, and I'm just like, it takes so much mental energy for me, and I'm just like, no, it's too much like work. It's too much like work. I don't want to. So I'm waiting until I get the chutzpah to do that. And hopefully that will work. Now, the other thing that there is that, how so many things are getting so proprietary now. And they want you, to have theirs, go their way, have theirs. And it seems that the internet service provider actually sells or allows you to rent, actually, um, meshes, like so that with their router, which is what you have to have in order to have their internet, so we have that router. The router one, it doesn't have a WPS button on it to automatically connect any device. It doesn't let you do that because it doesn't have that. And they don't want it on that because I guess they don't want you running anything on there that they don't want you to run on there. I don't know. And then, so that was also what made it hard to connect the extenders. But then on top of that, it seems like they want to sell you their thing where you buy their extender with the little meshes that you plug in around your house, but then you have to rent their meshes. So they charge you every month for having those. And that just made me angry. Just like, that made me more angry. It's like, so you want to charge me $5 for each one of those extra things to put in each room so I can get a better signal. When before I was able to get a signal without that, with the wireless extender we had. It just seems like with their improvements, it's to the point now where they're not improvements really to make things better. They're improvements to make them money. And that aggravates the heck out of me. That makes me just want to pull the whole internet out and say I'm living totally analog now. Screw all of you. My money's my money. Sorry if I hope I'm not offending anybody with my language, but I feel how I feel. My Elijah moment. I got a lot of them. I am who I am. And when somebody's doing something shady, yeah, I'm going to get loud about it. And I don't like what they're doing. I feel like there was always the potential for there's always the potential for good things to be in bad hands. And I think that's the point we're at with technology right now. All this time where the government in the US has been farting around, um, trying to find fault. What is that in there? Is that a big leaf? That's a big. Trying to find fault with presidents just doing their job, not checking one president who's not doing his job. All the time they could have been spending on regulating and watching the growing technology to make sure that it was working for our children and adults. That's what they should have been doing instead of conspiracy theory, hunting, and all this other crap. And so now this is where we are. They've allowed, by reason of focusing on the wrong thing, focusing on the easy thing, they've let go the important thing. And now it's at a place that, like, it's going to take more work to undo and do right. And that makes me angry. And I ask the Lord, how do I pray about this now? Because this is really messed up. It's really messed up. It's messing with our kids' minds. It's messing with adults' minds. And the thing is, it's a good tool. The things people have come up with are really good tools. But we got people with bad hearts in charge of them. You only fix that by having people who are willing to address the problem. And we don't have people willing to address the problem. Right now, we have people that now there's bigger problems that have to be dealt with that they can't. So I'm just saying, God, okay, now what? And I'm wondering, what equivalents to this are there historically in this country? Because I'm pretty sure there are. It's just I was too young at the time and I didn't know. I didn't know that was what was going on. So yeah, I'm kind of in a whole mood. Is it yellow? Okay, this one I'm going to make green. And then that side yellow. So how do we get out of this mess? How? And God saw it before it happened, so He's the only one who knows the solution to it. So I'm asking, who do I need to pray for and how? Because this is a hot mess. I'm not liking how this is looking. It's getting there. I thought that darker green when I did it last night, I was like, uh-oh, I done messed up. But I'm kind of liking how it looks now in my recovery. So I didn't actually know it, but it actually was leading to something good. Which parallel that to the situation I just ranting about. God can do that with that. Thought we were headed towards destruction, but God used it and made it something good. May that be what God does with it. I pray, let it be so. So be it. But we gotta have the heart. I feel like we gotta have the heart. There are more people who are for that than for the other. I don't know. Not to get too political though, but I wouldn't be mad if lightning struck the White House. That's the honest truth. I would not be mad with everybody in it. But they need one of them Nebuchadnezzar moments with the writing on the wall. Was that Nebuchadnezzar that happened with, or was that another one? Darius or something. With the writing on the wall. They need to see who really has the power. Because I'm afraid for all their souls. I really am. Bottom line, Jesus died for them. But right now, I think a lot of them are going to hell. Well, that was enough yapping for a day, wasn't it? I don't know. I don't know. I can't find the right sharpener for these. I wonder, does Polychromos, do they have their own sharpener? Maybe I need to look into that because I can't really find one that I really feel comfortable with. Although so far, I don't have any of these breaking on me as I've been coloring with them the past few weeks. But feeling a little nervous whenever I sharpen them. The Coom sharpener so far seems to be the best, but I don't know. I even think there's a difference between this Coom sharpener, this one, and then this one, which needs to be emptied, by the way. And the black one, this one seems to work the best. I don't know why that is. I don't know why, but I don't really like how either one of them work. Honestly, just doesn't. I had that good feel, like it's really getting sharpened. Or maybe like I have to keep using a graphite pencil or something to sharpen, to clean the blade or something. I don't know. It's cool enough outside where I could make a chicken pot pie. That's how cool it is. It's like, you know what? I normally think of that as like kind of cold weather food, but it's not feeling too late springy outside. Keep finding all these little spots. That's gotta be yellow. I feel like I might want to watch another movie, but I don't know if I can find one to watch. I started watching a movie before I watched that one about the tape bootlegger. And it was called Else. I think it was French. I couldn't. I started, I think, what did I get? Like maybe 20 minutes through or something like that. And the premise was interesting because it was about some kind of um, disease that was spreading in Paris where people were turning into objects. Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but but I thought, okay, that's an interesting premise, and they showed some pictures of it, like in the was it like the previews or whatever, and like the cinematography looked like really good, and some of the images, and so I thought, okay, this sounds like potential for a good story, and I started watching the movie, and I just was like, really. The characters, I was not drawn to them at all. I thought the main guy, like, you just need to, you're an idiot. Like, that's the first thing. That's actually, I think I actually said that to the TV. You're an idiot. He had this girlfriend or whatever, and she just was very, like, she was gross. And I think it was kind of like, I don't know if it was like it starts off with like this one night stand he has with this girl who's just like, not anybody you should even let in your house. She's like smelling everything. She's putting her mouth on everything and touching everything. And ugh, I just was grossed out just watching her. I couldn't take it. I could not take it. And she came back to his house and like, I mean, he let her in. I'd be like, what are you gonna let her in for? It's like he wants to talk to her and stuff. And I'm like, okay. That's when I said, you're an idiot. I says, you're an idiot. Just like, I can't watch. I don't care what happens to you because you're an idiot. Just like, so I just immediately just left. I was like, I don't know. Did I even shut the TV off? I might have shut it off. Went and did something else. And then I says, I really want to watch a movie. Let's see if we can find something else. Because that was a no. It looked promising, but I couldn't deal with either character. Not either one. I was like, no, no, no. Don't care what happens to either one of you. I need to not watch anything that's even remotely post-apocalyptic or anything like that. That's why I watch Bridgerton. But I don't want to watch Bridgerton too soon because this is a sleeve. I'm just gonna base all of them off of this because it's easier. I don't want to watch Bridgerton too soon because we're not gonna get together to talk about it again at JCZ Craft and Vlogs until blog. That's not the name of it, but it's close. Whenever I search for that channel of Jill's, I always put that in, and it's like that's not the name of it. It's like, oh, but I can't get it out of my head. Anyway, um, we're not going to talk about it till next. Is it next Friday? I have an appointment that day too. It's early in the day though. Um, so I don't want to watch it too soon because I don't want to forget. But I don't know. It might wind up being the only thing I have that I really want to watch. So I may have to watch it and take notes. I really wish they hadn't canceled Wheel of Time. I really do. I loved that show so much. It showed up on my somewhere in one of my pages on Amazon Prime, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't even want to go back and watch it from the beginning either because it'll just make me sad because I know y'all canceled the show even though it was really popular, just because you don't want to pay for production. Like, really. Man, I love that show. And then what's that other show I mix up that name? Was it How to Get to Heaven from Belfast? I think it's called. It's a silly show. It is interesting, but I gotta be in a certain mood to watch it because it moves really quirky. Like, I don't know if I feel like I'm in a quirky mood. I think I could actually go for a historical drama, but I don't know when to watch. One channel I've been watching on YouTube that I really like is Mythic Women. Oh my gosh, I love that channel. She is so good. Her and Understitch, those two channels, their research is just like their research and then their delivery and their narration is just so on point. And their images are good too. Understitch, sometimes she just makes me laugh because she's got that British humor, that kind of dry, wry humor. Oh my gosh. And she'll be just saying something, just like explaining something, and she just does that, slips that thing in, and like you don't even realize it. Just like, oh, she's talking, then you realize what she just said, and you bust out laughing because it's like, no, you didn't. I love it. I like her channel, and very informative too. I don't know if she I want to see or maybe I already did. Maybe I already did and I want to rewatch it, but somebody with a documentary on the designer Willie Smith, cuz he really was like, I mean, if he was like prime for a huge blow up, although he kind of did blow up. Because I mean, he had patterns for with pattern companies. He had a deal with that, and so you could get Willie Smith patterns for sewing clothes. I think did he do something with Marimekko or something like that? It was really big on like interior design. It was an interior design brand. He's a African American designer, and he died, during the AIDS crisis. Just hit suddenly and taking a whole lots of people out, which is really sad. It's like we have a whole generation of creative people just gone from that. Like that, I always wonder, like, what would they be doing now? What would they have done between then and now if they had still been here? That was just crazy. It was crazy the way that happened. But yeah, Willie Smith he was everywhere. Willie Ware was what his was part of his, I don't know, his brand name or whatever. Willie Ware, Willi. Oh, I happened to find my my mask for painting that I couldn't find, and I want to buy another one. I actually found it yesterday. Wasn't even looking for it. I was in the process of I was getting rid of papers, shredding and ripping up papers, and I opened a bin, and there it was sitting right on top in the plastic, like a plastic, not exactly Ziploc, but it's kind of like the bag it came in. It's kind of like thick plastic. Um, there it was. So I don't know. I may try using it when I use like maybe using Gamsol upstairs. I might try and use it for when I do that, and then use the one I just got for when I paint. I also saw some sketchbooks in there too. It's like, oh my gosh, what's on the? It's like, so I just quick shut the bin. I saw that there. I was like, oh, that's good. Okay. And I shut the bin because I was like, no, we're not going in there right now because I don't know what we're going to find. And then it's going to take me on a whole nother tangent. And I'm going to want to start doing whatever else with that. I had to stay on task. Reducing, getting rid of old papers. I really am feeling like painting though. I can feel it. But what it would take to get there, I have days of cleanup in that area and organizing before I could do that. So not happening unless the Lord makes it happen. Makes a way for that. I don't know. Yeah, it's time. It feels like it's almost time, but not quite time. So it ain't time till it's time. Okay, I kind of like that. How it's looking kind of has a glow, or is it just that my eyes are fuzzy? Because my eyes are fuzzy. Because allergies. Here's the one that's really pointy. I just had that. Where is it? Or I just used them too much and they're not pointy anymore. Is this it? No, it's also the same color. Okay. How long have I been on here? 1 hour, 38 minutes. Oh boy, I gotta figure out. Am I gonna bake? Am I gonna bake? Am I gonna bake? But I think I scanned that lemon biscotti recipe. I can actually look at it and mentally prepare myself. If I had the kitchen I want, I would just immediately just go down there and do it. But I don't. And so that's the hesitation. The prep work I gotta do to be able to work in that kitchen. So we got at least 2 more. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the ones at the corner. Maybe I want to do that. That's kind of weird. Don't ask me why I did that. Did it because I could. Makes no sense. We'll see how it looks when I look back at it later. I want to outline her some of her features, but I don't know if I have. It's so small. I'm not sure if I can do it good enough. I can't find a good shading color for fair skin. I don't want to make it brown, but I also don't want to use bright orange. That's just weird. I tried to. I used like an orange, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I wound up using the white pencil to go over it because I thought, no, that's not gonna, that's not gonna work. She's not an orange. She's not an orange. That's on her. Looks like she has a mole. Can you get rid of that? There we go. That did a little bit. Okay, lady. Gotta think about the other flowers. Her color. And these two plants. And then the house. I don't know why, but I want the house to be red. I want a red house. Ugh, eyes really are fuzzy. There must be something flying around outside. I do need to practice my piano. I had to break out with the dehumidifier because the humidity was up to like, I don't know, it was like 60%. And my C6 was sticking. More than that. Everything, well, 3 keys above C6 and 2 other keys next to them were sticking. And it's like, okay, this is not going to work. So I had to get the dehumidifier out. I was trying to wait until we got the air conditioners out, but like because of it hasn't been very warm consistently. As a matter of fact, not it's like a couple warm days, and then the rest have been more like it's mid spring, early spring. So I just had to get it out. The dehumidifier, and that made everything better. No more sticking. I shouldn't have done that dark red on that side. Shoot. Roof. Black. I don't want any more green. Bye. I think I need to pull out some of my maybe Teresa Goodrich books. Ooh, I could do a gnome book. Ooh, I don't know if I like that gray. I can easily turn it to another color, I suppose. Oh, it's not so bad. It's too tiny for me. I need glasses. I actually went to McDonald's after After I got my filling, because I've been craving a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit for like a month. And so I got it, and man, it was $11 for that McDonald's meal, the breakfast meal. $11. Oh my goodness. But I got my fix. Not another one till next year. It's kind of cute. What color to make the chimney? I could do black. Because I don't feel like doing anything else. Do with the outlines. I don't know. So I gotta do these flowers and that. Okay, I can actually, because the other ones actually are started with this. Let's do that. Probably need to read. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I did. I think I mentioned this. So I finally made my kale salad the other day, and I actually made my own. Um, I made a dressing, like, and out of chickpeas, because I have a bunch of chickpeas that I have from like an old meal kit box, and they're still good. I think the expiration is like sometime in 2027. And so it's like I really need to use those up. And we're not really, you know, fond of chickpeas. I will eat them in different ways. My husband's not so much. Um, but I don't like chickpeas whole really, unless they're in a salad where they're really one part of many other different things. And so I found a recipe for salad dressing, a creamy salad dressing made with chickpeas. Like the chickpeas are really what makes it creamy, and it turned out so good. It's basically just chickpeas, water, um, and like garlic, and then whatever kind of spices you want to put in there. And I put in lovage, oh, and maple syrup. There's like a teaspoon of maple syrup or a tablespoon or something like that. So yeah, so I put that in, and then I also used some lovage and something else. And it turned out so good. It's like so simple, but it's like right there you get extra protein on your you get protein on your salad using the chickpeas. Like how wonderful is that? I think it's wonderful. So I made some, and it turned out to be a lot. I filled up like an old salad dressing bottle with it. Plus, I had some left in addition to that. So I made like what 16 ounces. I think I made. Um, yeah, it turned out really good. So that's what I used on my kale salad. It was really good. So I do have that left in the fridge to eat. Mm-mm-mm-mm. This would be a good day for what do you call it? Ramen too. I need to order some more ramen from those people on the West Coast because that ramen is really good. I still have ramen to use up from that nasty in me ramen. Oh my god. If you see advertisements for that, don't do it. Don't get it. It's nasty. It really is. But I figured out a way to make it not nasty. So I have a bunch to use up, and maybe that's something I should make today. I could go for some ramen. That stuff I can put on it. Look at that's a thought. What you have to do with that imi ramen, you can't do it like they say to cook it. You need to make like a very you can use their packet that they have in there, but also add like I added miso to mine to the broth along with their packet, and I let it cook for a long time so that their ramen would soak up the flavor of the miso. I think I might have also put a bouillon cube in there. I mean, I really was going at it because, like, that thing is nasty. I was ready to throw it away. I thought, I can't throw that away. I paid money for this. So I was like, how can I make this edible? I went on Reddit to see if anybody had any ideas, and I didn't have any at the time, so that's what I decided to do. I put the miso in the broth, and I think I had that cooking. I had it cooking with the noodles in it, okay, for like 30 minutes. And that helped to hide that strange taste that they have. I don't know why they take. Well, they're supposed to be like have extra protein or have protein in it or something like that, which is why I bought them. But they're nasty. But I figured, like I said, I figured out how to make them unnasty because when I did what I did with it, you couldn't really taste that strange thing about them. Everything I cooking the noodles themselves in the broth for a long time was what did it. And in addition, let's see, I added miso. Um, I might have added a bouillon cube of some kind, chicken or vegetable. And the thing, because it wasn't the consistency I wanted it to be, because when I bought, I think it's the when I bought the real ramen noodles from this place on the West Coast, which I can't remember the name of, but it begins with a T. Um, they have recipes um on their website, and they had I think one for butter noodles and something else, and I used one of those recipes to make ramen with that a while ago. So I kind of tried to put together some of those same things to make the broth for these nasty ramen noodles. And something that I did that I don't know, it must be science or something, which I'm not good at, but it wasn't thick like I wanted it to be, the broth. So what I did, and this was actually before I added the noodles. Before I added the noodles, the broth I wanted the broth to have like a kind of thickness to it, a little bit kind of thickness, not to be so watery, but to have some kind of like, a little bit of resistance when you're stirring it. And so, and I was in a hurry too. So what I did, I didn't even know how it was going to work. I put in I took a raw egg, I cracked it into the into the hot broth, and I just started whisking it really fast. I was like, I don't know what this is going to turn out. I don't know if it's going to wind up looking like egg drop soup or if it's going to blend in. I have no idea, but whatever it is, I'll eat it. At least I know it's all edible. And the egg wound up blending in. There were no flakes or anything. It blended in entirely. That must be because I didn't scramble the egg. I didn't, whip it up before I put it in there. I just took the egg, cracked it in there, and then I whisked it in. Oh my gosh, it made that broth so smooth. And that was then after I did that, that was when I put in the noodles. So that was how I saved the Immy noodles from the garbage can. Yeah, I think I could go for some ramen today. I got some fresh broccoli. Yeah, that might be the route I go. Comforting bowl of ramen. But I need to actually, like, the way that um other website with the traditionally made ramen noodles, they had you like toasting sesame seeds and then grinding them, and that was what was a part of the broth, and so the toasted sesame seeds actually thicken the broth. This makes it really good too. Tastes really good. So I think I might do that if I make ramen today. And the egg. And I'll have all my protein. Protein times 3. I have a little bit of ground turkey I could just drop on the top. Instead of using it to make more nachos, which is what I've been doing. I might do that. That sounds easy. Okay. I don't know if I really. Maybe if I have it dark all the way, doesn't it seem kind of. So I guess I'm still kind of cranky about the same things, but I'm not as cranky as I was overall this past weekend. Just looking for the way that the Lord is going to make amongst all the crazy. Because the world always is chaos. It's just controlled by who knows what. Ultimately, just pray that the Lord watches over us, and that those of us who have given ourselves to Him, will allow ourselves to be used as vessels of honor rather than vessels of dishonor across the world. Because people are hurting. People are hurting and they need. And we know the one who can fill up empty jars of oil, who can make flour last 100 times longer than it really should. We know that one. Oh, I'm going to choke. Definitely having an allergy day this afternoon. I really am liking how this part looks, and now I feel like I need to make this match this, because this looks kind of weird now. How do I make it look unweird? How do I make it look unweird? I don't think I can do it in this sitting. I think I have to sit back and reflect. So that's it for me today. It's 1:36. I'm losing my voice. So it's a good time to go. Thank you for joining me in my review of what I colored for Mermaid and coloring in Maria Charles Luna. And have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.